Monica Aksamit, belated HBD, Monica.
Thanks.
We saw from your social media kind of activity over the past week during your training camp in Paris that you celebrated your birthday in Paris. What was that like?
It was fun. I definitely was homesick, so I was kind of upset at first that I was here and I wasn't home with my family. But then we ended up going out to dinner with the French team, and they surprised me with a cake, and the entire restaurant was singing me happy birthday, which was really cool. So it ended up being really, really good.
Yeah, pretty amazing way to celebrate your birthday in Paris, surrounded by a bunch of fellow athletes.
Can't complain.
Not at all. So outside of that, like, you looked like you got around the city quite a bit. Tell us a little bit about how you spent your time outside of the training camp.
I like to go sightseeing. I've always enjoyed like European architecture and stuff. We've obviously been to Paris 1,000 times. Never gets old to me. So I actually took Kamali out to go sightseeing. She's never been there, so we went obviously see the main buildings and so on. Took pictures here and there and tried to be creative. That's really about it.
And what's your favorite Parisian site?
Probably Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower, excellent. And you also kind of had a unique accommodation experience. You used AirBnB, right?
Yeah.
How many times have you used Airbnb before?
This is actually my second time. The other time was more for vacation versus a training camp.
And how do you feel like it was, you're here for work, you need to be focused. What was it like staying in Airbnb?
I really liked it personally because we got one with the kitchen, so I was able to cook my own meals versus having to eat at the training site, which I didn't really like the food as much. So I could do my own stuff. We had a lot more room, had a washer. So I think it was much better than staying in a hotel. Also cheaper, so that always wins.
So recommended for others?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it for a competition, but for training camp, absolutely.
Okay, so would you do it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Outside of that, from everything I've heard, the INSP facilities are amazing. You coming from a huge Big Ten school in Penn State, also known for its facilities. How do the facilities at Penn State compare to INSP or the OTC?
Well, it's harder to say because I've obviously seen more of the OTC. We basically had a tour, obviously, and I went to Penn State, so I saw essentially like all the buildings, all the facilities. So that's a little bit hard to compare. The fencing room was absolutely much better in INSP than at Penn State. At Penn State, we kind of fence in a dungeon with no windows. We share with the rifle range team, and so yeah, definitely the fencing gym is much better in INSP. The floors are awesome. Aside from that, we kind of had to sneak in to get into that hot cold bath, which was cool once we got in, but again, we had to sneak in there, so that definitely didn't help.
So talking a little bit more about kind of the dungeon-like feel of Penn State, what are some other characteristics of the Penn State fencing room?
I mean, there's not really that much to the room. We have like a repair room to like at the end of the corner. We have, I don't remember how many fencing strips, and then we have a separate room that has epee, just epee, and then they have like the rifle range in there.
And how about at INSP here? What, apart from the floor, made it such a great environment?
It was just a very large room, so there was plenty of strips. I know they have like 40 fencers competing, training there, and that's essentially what we had at Penn State. So it was always a struggle being able to have like share strips. Like Foil would always try to fight with Sabre to get more strips. So that was cool because there was a lot of strips, so we never had to. It was never really a struggle while here at training camp to find a strip to fence with somebody. I believe I saw like having that slow motion video option. We didn't use it, but we had that option. And kind of the strips were similar to what we have at World Cups. You would hit someone, the light wouldn't go off. While frustrating, it kind of helps set you up for these competitions where the same thing can happen.
A universal problem, then.
Universal problem.
All right, and moving on to the competition today, what was your result here today?
I did not make 32s, I made 64s.
All right, so and that was a matchup against Marielle, correct?
Correct.
And, coming up against someone like Marielle, someone very familiar to you, you fenced probably many times in training camps, many competitions, also a teammate and an accomplished fencer. What are you doing when you know that that's the next bout?
I try not to, obviously I don't like tell myself like, oh my god, it's Marielle Zagunis. I kind of try to approach it as any regular fencer. I don't usually fencer in competitions. I think this might be my second time in history. I think the last time was like 2009, I fenced at Pan Am's. I fenced a little bit better today, like score-wise at least. I think I did more actions and stuff. I don't know, like I said, I approach her like any other fencer. I think about what her strong actions are, what her weak actions are, what I can use against her. Obviously, I watch videos from other competitions and kind of try to see what other people are scoring on, or how she was scoring on them, to see what I can use and what I shouldn't be doing.
Excellent. And what do you have after this?
After this, we have Reno this next coming weekend, so that altitude change is going to be awesome, plus that jet lag. Then we have Seoul left over and training camp in March, and then we have 2 competitions I believe in May, so Beijing and Moscow.
All right, well, we look forward to catching up with you at those competitions.
Sounds good.
All right, later, Monica.
Bye.